probably on the verge of divorce. We talked about it behind closed doors and we're kind of making plans for it. We're more like roommates, kind of is the best way to describe it. We're kind of just coexisting for our kids. And it was hard and exhausting. I think we were both tired and we were both kind of ready to give up. They told me we couldn't do it unless both of us attended, and so he came because I wanted to do it, and the kids came because we made them, and nobody really wanted to go. It was a fight to get everybody in the car, including Donald.
When she told me about it, I was like a deer in headlights. I was really nervous and not wanting to do it. That fear of not being able to fulfill it, I was dreading it each week.
Yeah, I believe that when they started, they didn't realize that they needed community. They weren't necessarily looking for it.
Yeah, they were quiet when they first started out in the class, and a little reserved, and maybe a little anxious about what was coming up.
They were in a financial lit class with a few other couples, and Donald really connected with the guys from that group because they would talk about car stuff. Eventually I stopped hearing from Carla that it was gonna just be next week.
When we started doing family nights at our church, I was still working for Lev at that time, and invited a couple of the families from there and was so excited that the Lewises came. So we got to know them, we got to know their kids. We just formed a relationship with them. We would have holiday meals, they would come over, just trying to do life together.
Well, all I knew about Donald when the family came to our family night is we didn't see him a whole lot, and the family would say, well, he doesn't like to step foot in a church. He is afraid of being in a church. And so I sat down with him and his son, Will, and just to shoot the breeze, just to get to know them. And we found a common interest, which was fishing. And in that common interest, we started pulling out our phone to say, hey, look at, this is the last fish I caught. Here's a big fish I caught. So it was really cool. It was really neat to meet Donald. And so in that first meeting, I invited him. I said, we should go fishing sometime. And we set up a time to go fishing, and we've been fishing on a number of occasions since.
Just having this Tuesday night regular commitment, place to go where the kids had a safe place to play. The kids loved playing with Miss Sandy. It was safe and felt like a wonderful time in their week where they could just, as a family, go and everyone have their thing.
I felt like it was all on me to handle everything, as far as bills and everything, and then basically life's gonna show me that I can let go of the reins a little bit and trust her to help me out so it's not all on me. Actually, the first time I can actually open up to her, 10 plus years, was actually really comfortable with opening up to her. I know for me, it actually went pretty fast. I could see progress really quickly.
I think what changed first was our family dynamic. We all started gravitating together more, and that family unit was put back together. That happened kind of slowly because it took a lot to retrain all of our lives. But once that family unit came back together, I think we saw a lot of changes pretty quickly.
By the time they were ready to graduate, they didn't want to leave. And not in the sense that they weren't ready to go off, take what they learned and be on their own, but they didn't want to leave the community. And the very next week after their graduation, they were back here to volunteer.
We went from behind closed doors talking about divorce to then graduating and coming back and volunteering and teaching a healthy relationships class, being that full circle moment, but then also being able to use our trials and tribulations was such a cool moment. And we've now also peer supported a couple, which was another cool experience to be like, wow, we really are on the other side. And we can use our knowledge to help somebody else get on the other side as well.
Donald started helping with skits. He surprised us all by doing that, by helping at the car show that we have, serving in a variety of ways in our missional community. And they began to build relationships, not just with Cindy and I, but other members of our church. And Donald said something that really struck me and really made me happy, that he liked our church because he felt accepted. He didn't feel judged.
I would say probably especially with their daughter and Donald, I've seen the biggest change, which really warms my heart. Gary mentioned that Donald would started doing the skits. Well, I think the only reason he did that is because his daughter was doing the puppet and he was doing it with her, kind of for her, and she just glowed when that happened.
You know, I may be here serving them, but the goal is that everybody finds a place that they can serve. And that's exactly what the Lewis family has done, you know, with the Love program here, the Love Your Neighbor working and being employed, and Kiana coming back. And I have seen her at the checkout at the Hudsonville store, so I know she also does. So it's just, I have seen now that how the whole thing works, and it works wonderfully.
Yeah, we met Aunt Cindy, and then we started going to South Blendon, and then we met everybody there. And we got a church family now. At 2 churches.
You got baptized?
I got baptized.